Welcome to Ultimate Report. I'm Mary Winkenwerder. Public awareness campaigns come in many different forms. Some effectively address the issues directly with fashionable reminders of the good they represent. Two very savvy young women have taken on one issue head-on while fusing in a fashionable reminder of the good it represents. Here to tell us all about their Quit the BS campaign are teenage Disney ambassador and JustMe products founder Kayla Jackson and famed YouTube superstar Saphira Howell of Saphira Fashion. Ladies, welcome to Ultimate Report.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
I am very excited to have you both here. This sounds like it can be a really good project to jump on board with. So ladies, you're on opposite ends of the country. Kayla, you're in New York City, and Saphira, you're in Los Angeles. Let's start by sharing how the two of you came together to work on this.
Yeah, sure. When I thought about the concept for JustMe products back in 2014, I was really working tirelessly, gathering all of the logistics. So who was going to be the manufacturer? What was the product going to look like? What SKUs was I going to use? What revenue model should I explore? And once I got all of that down, I sat down and conducted a brand identity test. So I wrote down my values, my gifts, my passions, and I decided to reach out to maybe 150 YouTubers that I believed somewhat or wholly shared these values and passions that I had. And what made me drawn to Saphira so much was one video in particular that I saw where she said, you don't have to be what society thinks is beautiful to make society a beautiful place. And I think that message was so strong and it resonated with me so much. And when I heard it, I knew instantly that she was worth partnering with, especially because she was so young and she reminded me of myself, so ambitious for her age. She was growing, on YouTube. She didn't have 600,000 subscribers and had this ego complex about how worthy our partnership was, like some of the others that I was corresponding with. And she was just really willing to work with me, and she respected the message that I was trying to convey with this brand and the product, and it's pretty much history from there.
Wow, so the two of you are joining forces to create public awareness for a very worthy cause. Kayla, this campaign draws awareness to a very important issue. Tell us about this campaign in your words.
Yeah, sure. So Saphira and I really wanted to launch some type of campaign that shed light on the issues within society that have affected us personally growing up. So being women, we're often fed these distorted media messages about how we should look and feel and behave. So we sat down on the phone for a few hours one day, and I said, okay, well, we've all heard of slut shaming, we've all heard of body shaming, but what about shaming current beauty standards? Because they're BS. So what can we do to change this mindset, to change this concept? So we decided to launch a campaign asking people, especially young women, to help us quit the BS or quit the beauty standards of today's society. And JustMe Products is really all about encouraging people to embrace who they are fearlessly, flawlessly, and unapologetically, especially in a world where depression, bullying, and suicide rates among young people are at its all-time high. So in the YouTube video, we're drawing on ourselves all the insecurities we've ever had that society has made us feel about ourselves, and we're challenging people to do the same and share it with the world.
Saphira, what is your view on this issue of self-awareness?
My view is definitely, I think it's interesting because when I have all these followers on YouTube, it makes it really important that I embrace who I am, because if I don't, why should they? So I make it really clear that you don't want to fit in. Why would you want to fit in? Everyone who people look up to, they're people who stand out. Even if you're talking about a good mother, it's someone who is a good mother. She's great at what she does. So athletes, musicians, actors, they're all people who stand out in their field. They're all people who don't fit in. And so embracing who you are and not being afraid to be who that person is, that's what I'm all about.
Mm-hmm.
So there are so many stigmas surrounding beauty projected by the media and through other means. This is an issue that can take root in anyone's mind at any age, and it roots deeply. Ladies, has there ever been a time when you felt that you may not have measured up to any standard of projected beauty?
Oh yeah, all the time. I was bullied a lot in middle school and high school, and that could be largely attributed to the fact that I was the new kid in town. I went to a school where a dominant portion of the population looked nothing like me, and to be honest, how could I blame a group of people who really never had authentic experiences with people who look like me? So most of their experiences were from what they saw on the TV. And unfortunately, depictions of women of color in media are often negative and derogatory. So, it's one of the reasons why I started a magazine when I was in high school for the empowerment of young girls of color. It's one of the reasons why as soon as I got to college, I cut all my hair off, and my mom was like, "What are you doing? You're bald now." And I'm like, because I want to join this natural hair community. I want to, join the bandwagon, for lack of better words, and embrace my kinky, coily curls, because media is always telling me that this is ugly, this is nappy. And
no, it's awesome.
Yeah, and I love it. I love the texture. I love that I can wake up the next day and my hair is going to look completely different than the day before. And I realized that if I didn't love and respect who I am, how I came out the womb, how could I expect others to do the same? So growing up, I realized that although they're very large and prominent, issues with self-love and self-acceptance aren't confined to the African American community. It's something that all women face. It's something that we all are challenged to conquer. And a journey through self-love is just as much about finding that intersection of your passions and gifts, so that all of that external opinion and propaganda and narrow-minded concepts of what beautiful is becomes trivial and worthless.
So, Saphira, has there ever been a time when you felt that you may not have measured up to any standard of projected beauty, although I don't know why you would? I mean, you're absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much. But a few years ago, not a few, like 5 years ago, I didn't really feel like that. When it comes to puberty, I think that young people really think it's so important, and what your body looks like is so important. And that's how it feels for a lot of people. So I started puberty before a lot of my friends did. And I was like all excited about that. I was like, oh my God, I have the biggest boobs in my 5th grade class, which no one cares, but I did. And then by the time that my friends started growing, I was already done. But I've been like the same cup size since the 6th grade, and so in middle school it seemed like that's all that anyone cared about, girls and guys alike. And so it really took a toll on my self-esteem, because I was like, okay, I can either be made fun of for having small boobs, or I can wear a push-up bra, but that's not me. And so I ended up going the route of wearing a push-up bra, a huge, crazy huge push-up bra, for like 2 or 3 years. And then finally I had like this light bulb moment, and I was just like, this is not who I am, this is not what I am. And so I stopped wearing it, and I have been super duper confident in my body, who I am, what I look like ever since.
That's great. That is well done. Good for you. So,
Thank
ladies,
you.
let's talk about the gadget representing the cause. What does it look like? How practical is this gadget? And how do we get one for ourselves?
I have a picture to show you.
Yay.
Here we go. We have a picture of some of our prototypes. So as you can see, JustMe cases come in a wide variety of colors. And they also come with charms that you can put on them. And so we call those mini-me traits. So they are kind of just an expression of who you are, what you love, your favorite colors, things that you like. So the cases come in whatever color you want, and then they have a slide-off piece where you can put a credit card, ID, money, a key, and so it's kind of the wallet that no one knows that you're carrying, which is really great for today. And then they also are just kind of just an expression of who you are, because when you go out and you see people with cases, they're either like boring, or it's like everyone has the same case, so no one's going to have the same case as you. And Kayla can tell you a little bit more about them.
Yeah, so we didn't want people to sacrifice style and convenience for durability. You know, it's super practical because it has a sliding wallet. So it's not an accident waiting to happen like those cases. I don't know why, who came up with this, but those cases where you have your cards exposed if you're on the phone and somebody can see your cards and your cash. So like Saphira said, it's a wallet that no one will know you're carrying, and it's the only case you can change as often as your shoes. And if you're me, that's very often.
That's funny. That's great. So this project is starting out as a Kickstarter campaign. What are your goals, and how does this campaign help to curb perceived standards of beauty?
Yes, we are actually looking to raise a pretty aggressive goal over a period of 30 days, $45,000 for molds, for initial inventory. And even though that's kind of aggressive in the eyes of the Kickstarter world, we really believe that our message is going to resonate with people, and it's one to be heard, and it's worth listening to. So with this campaign, Quit the BS, we're fighting for those who feel like they can't fight for themselves. So we're here to tell every bully, every hater, for lack of better words, to reevaluate their intentions. You know, words are really strong, and the language we use, especially on the internet nowadays, to describe other people is really often reflective of how we describe ourselves. And I really believe that if everyone, even the bullies, were to take away this message of self-acceptance and confidence and love and positivity, the world can be a better place. You know, when someone buys our case and they customize it anytime they want, anywhere they want with these mini-me traits, they're taking one step towards embracing who they really are, because now it's no longer internal, it's out there for everyone to see. And sometimes that can be a really vulnerable, scary decision, but it's one small crucial step in the right direction towards self-love. And me personally, I'm sure a lot of your viewers can identify with this, is that I want my beauty to be defined by how I treat others and how I treat myself, rather than by my waistline, my skin tone, or my bust size.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure quite a few would as well. That's a really good pulse to have your finger on. So where do we go to join the cause?
And Kayla, do you want to get that one?
Oh, am I getting that one? Okay, yeah. So you can actually join the cause by visiting our Kickstarter campaign on August 11th. You can Google Kickstarter.com, JustMe Products. It'll show up on Google. It'll be under the name JustMe Products, like I said, and you can also post a picture of yourself on social media, writing all of the insecurities you've ever had on your body or that society has ever made you feel crappy about, to, like we said, call out current beauty standards and how BS they are, because we really believe that it's finally time to redefine beauty for ourselves. Each person has the agency to redefine beauty for themselves. And our point is really that each person has the right, the agency, and the choice to do that. So yeah, you can follow us online. You can follow us on our social media at JustMe Products on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And yeah, yes.
That's fantastic. So, Saphira, you know, you created quite an audience for yourself too. And where do we catch up with Saphira Fashion online?
You can catch up with me at youtube.com/Saphira Fashion. Also, my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook are all Saphira Fashion, or it's facebook.com/official Saphira Fashion. And you can watch our Quit the BS video on my YouTube channel. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So excited.
Fantastic. All right, ladies, thanks so much for joining us on Ultimate Report. It has been absolutely great having you join us.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
All right. Catch up with me on my blog, www.beautybeautereport.com, on Twitter @BeautyPublicist, and on YouTube, Ultimate Report. Everyone, thanks so much for joining us on Ultimate Report. Have a beautiful and successful week. Mwah.
Bye. Bye.